Hello, we are Sun Valley Consulting. In order to give you recommendations, we focused on your mission and vision statements. And one of the conclusions we came to is in order to provide year-round sports training, one of the most important aspects of your organization are your volunteers. We saw your volunteer program as one of your most important assets in accomplishing your goals and living up to your beliefs. Research into your organization verified that belief. With an extensive volunteer program and numerous positions for volunteers to take, it is obvious how important attracting and retaining volunteers is to the Special Olympics. One of your organization's biggest strengths is your ability to attract volunteers. Currently, you report having approximately 14,700 volunteers to help with your various projects. We also saw your athletes as one of the biggest motivational factors to get volunteers. One of the biggest strengths in your volunteer program is that volunteers gain a great deal of personal satisfaction in helping the athletes. This intrinsic reward keeps the volunteers motivated to come back and is the main reason for the high retention rate. Another factor in the high retention rate is the immense amount of attention the athletes and the program gains from sporting events and other corporations. Subway and the NFL are just two examples of sponsors who have garnered support for the organization. This kind of support helps gain legitimacy. Another strength is the feedback. The organization conducts surveys after events and competitions for volunteers in order to discern how they can improve. In addition, families and athletes provide feedback as well to discern how well the volunteers are doing. One of your organization's weaknesses is the lack of volunteer descriptions. There are no clear definitions or roles for volunteers who are working events, but there are descriptions for leadership positions. As McCurley and Lynch mentioned, a volunteer description should include the following: ownership, the authority to think, and a way to measure results. Having volunteer descriptions for all positions may reduce the 10% absenteeism rate for special events and help the volunteers have a better idea of exactly what they are going to be doing. The reward system is a good beginning, but receiving a thank you card offers no new incentive as their need for an intrinsic reward has already been fulfilled by volunteering. Also, due to the high volume of volunteers, they may not receive a card from someone they interacted with during their time. There is also no training provided prior to the volunteer event. Training and orientation occur the day of the event. For first-time volunteers, this can be a bit stressful. The training that is provided the day of is very brief, and volunteers often feel like they're just thrown into the mix. Our first recommendation is to develop volunteer descriptions for all volunteers. These descriptions should be listed on the Special Olympics Arizona website, so there's easy access for anyone interested, and they should be there to help volunteers better understand what they should be doing to dispel any fears they may have about volunteering. If your organization is looking for more volunteers, we recommend using warm body recruitment for basic positions such as day of event or fundraising. Developing volunteer descriptions would also help all volunteers understand what position they are volunteering for. It would also be useful to utilize targeted recruitment for specialized positions, especially the positions needed in medical tents for the corporate team, sponsors, or certified officials. It is also a good idea for any position to use concentric circle recruitment, since the people already fulfilling the position would most likely know others with the necessary qualification or desire. Using concentric circle would help new volunteers have an idea of what their position or commitment will look like, as they have a current volunteer as a resource, and would help find passionate volunteers without costing the organization much time or resources. To help your reward system, we recommend expanding it by offering meals, swag, raffles, or special events, such as an athletes and volunteers dance. This would attract more people and help build a stronger community of volunteers because it would be creating relationships between volunteers and the clients, aka the athletes. Another recommendation would be to give medals to all the volunteers. This would be a great thank you gift that is also memorable. These could have the event and the year that they volunteered. Another recommendation to help introduce volunteers to your organization is an orientation video. The video should include a detailed description of what the volunteer will be doing, will help new volunteers feel more confident in the task they will be performing for the organization, will help volunteers come better prepared to volunteer, will help improve the overall flow of an event if volunteers are trained, and volunteers will be more likely to come back and volunteer again. An orientation video would help dispel any fears they have and give a better introduction to the aspects of the organization they are unclear about. In summary, Special Olympics Arizona has many strengths to their volunteer program. Some of the more specific strengths that we found are intrinsic motivation, good feedback method, and as a result of this, many volunteers giving their time. Just like any other organization, there are a few additions to the program that could be made to make it that much greater. Possibly adding training for the volunteers, creating good descriptions of the volunteer jobs, and having a sort of reward system. One major addition Special Olympics of Arizona could have is to create training videos for the volunteers. They could in turn help the retention rate and create more long-term volunteers. When these trainings are created, it will be easier to come up with descriptions of the different volunteer positions that are available. Overall, Special Olympics Arizona has a very well-established volunteer program that is evidently changing lives every day. And here is our bibliography. Thank you for watching.